Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, before I do anything, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of stuff coming up that's fabulous because we're heading back to Italy very soon and we're going to have a lot on there. And follow me on Instagram because I post stuff there that I don't necessarily post here, and you're going to want to see that as well. So today, what I wanted to show you is the absolute slam dunk best property deal anywhere in Italy and anywhere in Calabria, certainly. And I have reasons for that, so I want to show it to you. Now, first of all, this house is located in the beautiful hill town of Santa Domenica Talao. And if you've been following the channel at all, you know that Santa Domenica Talao is absolutely gorgeous. It is a beautiful hill town right at the foot of the Pollino National Park. So it gives you these stunning, stunning Pollino Park views with the mountains and everything else. And then you've got stunning views of the sea from up there. It's just at the right point on the hill where you get all of that. It's absolutely gorgeous and we love it. Now, the reason this house is suddenly such a great deal is because there's a project in the works almost next door to where this house is located, just outside the historic center of Santa Domenica Talao. And this project is a multi-family unit. Each unit is going to be about 100 square meters, all brand new, all very nice and everything else. But the asking price for each unit is 280,000 euros. Now, I'm not going to address whether I think that's a good deal or not. I'm going to talk about this house, which is already standing. The other one is a project to be done off plan. This house is already standing and there's a lot of work already been done in it. This house, if you redid everything, you could have 300 square meters of living space, which is around 3,000 square feet. It is a huge house. In addition, you have a massive garden in the back and you're outside of the historic center, which means you are not constrained by the constraints of a historic center. As we've talked about before on our tours with Antonella, the architect, you can't necessarily make the windows as big as you want in the historic center. You can't increase the balconies or even put new balconies on. You can't have solar. You only have a certain amount that you can use for your terrace, a roof terrace. It can't be bigger than a certain amount. These are all historic center constraints that you are not going to find here. You could have the place bristling with balconies if you want. You can make the windows as big as you want as long as structurally it makes sense. So there's a lot of reasons why this house is a fabulous deal. Not to mention the fact that now you're right next to this other project that is going to be so much more expensive. Now, this house does need some love, even though a lot of work has been done. We've done tours with Antonelli, the architect. He is poised and ready to jump in, but the list price for this property of almost 3,000 square feet is 99,000 euros, guys. 99,000 euros. It does need some love. There's a couple of structural things that need to be done. And of course, you're going to want to restructure some of the living spaces. We're going to go through it right now. But the possibilities are endless. And so for maybe around 250,000, you could have a massive, beautifully renovated, large house with the most stunning terrace you have ever seen and views of the sea and of the mountains. Let's take a look. Now, this first shot I wanted to show you, it's an overhead shot of the house, but you can see how big the garden is. Now, that garden, you could put a pool up there, you could put patios up there, pergolas, all kinds of things. It's a little bit private. You can't really see it from the road, so you do have a certain amount of privacy there, but it's a massive garden. In addition, you can see that the roof's in very good shape. We have droned the roof with the architect and he agrees that the roof is in good shape and the structure of the building is in very good shape. And we're going to go over a couple of features of that that's going to show you that a lot of thought was put into this house when it was created. Now, from this shot here, you can see that the house is massive. It is really huge. It is on, I think, a total of 4 levels. You've got the Cantina down below, which could be a totally separate apartment or guest quarters, or you could make it a really nice laundry area if you want. There's so many options there. It also has a garage with a garage door opener that's electric garage door opener, automatic, so you don't have to get out of your car, you just drive right in. That could be joined up with the house, so you don't have to go up the front stairs. You could just, there could be an interior staircase. And next to the garage, there's this whole storage area where they made wine. Now, as you can see from this shot, this is an overhead shot. I wanted you to see the size of the garden. It is huge. There's unlimited opportunities. In addition, the roof is in very good shape and the structure itself is in very good shape. Now, this shot here, you're looking up at the building and you can see that it's really, really big. It's also outside of the historic center, so you can do anything you want to it as long as it structurally makes sense. There are a lot of constraints in this historic center that you will not be constrained by here. You can't have solar in the historic center. You're very limited on adding new balconies or increasing the size of balconies or making windows into balconies. All of those things go away because this is outside of the historic center. And as long as it makes sense structurally, you can do it. Now, this next one I wanted to show you, and I think it's very important. You can see that there is a breezeway between the back of the house and the land. They put up a retaining wall and then they built the house. And this is important, and I'll tell you why. Many times in the historic center or anywhere, you have houses that are built right flat up against the land, and that's a problem because water seeps in from the land and gets wicked up into these sponge-like walls, and you forever have a problem with condensation, with mold, with all of those things coming into your house. You're always redoing the plaster, you're always getting rid of the mold. There's always a humidity problem. You won't have that in this house, and in fact, this house is completely dry from top to bottom. Those humidity issues will not exist in this house because there's a space between the land and the house. They thought in advance. That tells me that they really knew what they were doing when they created this house. Now, this next picture here is a picture coming in the front door. You can see the front door is big. This was used as the kitchen area. The kitchen is still there, and you can see it's very light and bright. Now, on this level, this is the first floor, the second level. This is the one right above the cantina. You can see there's a lot of windows. There's these beautiful beams which can be salvaged. They can be pressure washed, and you can stain them and make them absolutely gorgeous. Now, that ugly staircase, that scala bruta, is going to go away because it's ugly and it's a terrible staircase, honestly. And that staircase will be relocated somewhere where it makes a whole lot more sense, and it's not right in the middle of the property. Here's another view of the kitchen. You can see it's very light and bright, and that doorway opens up into the Soggiorno or living area. Now, again, we thought we would make this the zona notte because the views from here are nice, but they're not as nice as you will get from upstairs. The zona giorno, the day zone upstairs, is going to be where you're going to have your kitchen, your living room, your dining room, and it all opens out onto that spectacular terrace, which is really the best view in all of Santa Domenica, which is saying something because we've seen some really amazing views. Not to mention the view from Casa Cristina is spectacular, but this one's going to be even better. Panoramic from the sea, all the way around. You'll see the village and you'll see the Pollino National Park. It is going to be spectacular. And it's not that much to do, and I'll show you why. This is a picture from the kitchen looking into the Soggiorno area, and you can see that there is a pranzo on the left-hand side. It is a massive room, which we thought would make another great bedroom with ensuite bath. And here's the Soggiorno. You can see that everything's very light and bright. What I love about this house, there's so much natural light. Even in wintertime, even when the light is low, it is very light and bright. Now here you see a little scorcio view, scorcio meaning a glimpse of what is out the window there, out on the balcony. That's a lovely balcony. And it gives you a view of the mountains, and you can see the sea from out there as well. Now, from this photo, you can see not only the beams that carry through from the kitchen area, which you could redo all of them and make them spectacular, but also there's an air conditioning heating split. There's two in the house, and they stay, and they are brand new, just installed. Now, here's a view out from the kitchen window. Not the best view in the world, but from your terrace upstairs, which is one level higher, you're looking over all of these houses and rooftops. There's another view. You can see the mountains, but again, you're going to be looking over all these houses and have a beautiful view of the mountains. Now, here's a view out that shows you the driveway. There is a driveway that drives all the way up into your garage. Now, that's very unusual in a town like Santa Domenica because it wasn't built for cars. It was built for people and donkeys, to be honest with you. It's really nice to have a driveway where you could drive all the way up. For people who are mobility impaired, this is a really nice option. And you can see that the town is right there. It's a short walk to all the restaurants and the bars. In fact, one of the best restaurants is right across that little street down below where you get the best pizza, the best Calabrian cuisine. It's the Bella Vista restaurant. We've gone on and on about it. We've shown the food. It is really fabulously good. Now, here's a view from the Soggiorno going into the main bedroom, the master bedroom. There's a bathroom on the right-hand side. That bathroom has been totally redone, and the plumbing has been redone for that bathroom as well. So that's something you won't have to fix. Now, one of the things you could do, if you want to, is you could put that as your master bedroom suite, and then just have this whole Soggiorno area as a little seating area, like a really nice giant suite of bedroom, bathroom, seating area for your living space in the morning. That would also leave a huge space and an ensuite bath for your guests. Here's the bathroom. It's funny because it's all done. It's very beautiful. There's a lot of space in that. You can't see, but there is a piece of glass on the shower there. So the shower has this beautiful open space feeling, and the window is brand new. Everything's brand new in the bathroom. It's really a beautiful bathroom. There's another view of the bathroom. Beautiful. Now, here's the master bedroom. Once again, an air conditioning heating split and a lot of natural light. There's another view of the bedroom. You can see it's quite big. I would get rid of that armadio. You know how I feel about those big, giant armadios. And here's a view out the bedroom window. You can see that the town is right there. Everything is right within walking distance. And you also get a beautiful view of the town. It's a very beautiful town. Now, here's the Pranzo I was telling you about, which is, it's a Pranzo now. It's huge. It's really, really big. And we talked about putting a corridor in, making a bedroom and ensuite bath down there. You could actually make 4 bedrooms down there if you wanted to. But do you really need 4 bedrooms, especially when you have that apartment down below that you could create for your guests? What I would do is I would make that into a beautiful bedroom, ensuite, and then the seating area where the kitchen now is, and then have the master bedroom be the same thing. So you have 2 beautiful suites, one for you, one for your guests, and a very comfortable, very private, and just really a nice space. There's the Pranzo again, massive. Now this last photo of the Pranzo just shows you really how big it is. Of course, all that stuff in there will go away. Now, this picture is a little bit hard to understand, so I'm going to explain it for you. Once you go up that Scala Brutta in the kitchen area, you come up that horrible, ugly staircase, and you are confronted with this weird space. Now, this weird space and the space on the other side, when you take off that slanty rooftop, you are going to have a magnificent terrace out that overlooks the sea and the mountains and everything else. There's no reason for a room up here with that slanty space. It's stupid. So Antonello said, here's what we do. We just get rid of that altogether. We make a fabulous terrace. We make a little bathroom on the side so that you have a bathroom up there and you don't have to run up and down to use the toilet. And you have this beautiful, beautiful terrace space with glass opening up onto the terrace from the kitchen, dining room, Soggiorno area. Here's another view. You can see a little hole where that Scala Brutta comes up. It's my understanding that that little wall in the middle, I think it's just a support for the roof. If the roof goes away, the wall goes away. And guess what? That Scala Brutta is going away too. So you're going to have a magnificent terrace. Huge! You could never do that in a historic center. Now, this is the doorway going through from where you're going to have the terrace, okay? And you can see that on the other side, there's a huge space, 2 huge spaces. One, I would make a giant kitchen eating area. The other, I would make a beautiful soggiorno, because both of those areas are going to have windows that open up onto the terrace. They should be facing the terrace because you've got that magnificent view out. Now, another thing that I love is there's a little bridge that goes across that breezeway into the garden. So you could have your kitchen garden right outside of your kitchen. You could have all of your herbs, all of your tomatoes, everything growing out there. Plus the fact when you want to entertain out there in the summertime, your kitchen's right there. You just zip out and there it is. Now, here's another view of the kitchen Soggiorno area. It is not finished, but it can so easily be finished. The door goes out to the back. On the other side of that little wall, which I would turn into a beautiful white arch, you know, maybe with some brick accents. I don't know, depending on what you want. I like the clean look of just a beautiful white arch there, and that's what I would do. On the other side of that wall, facing out toward the garden, I would put the kitchen right there, like an angular kitchen that's really, really big, and I would put a nice big window there so that while you're cooking, you're chopping, you're doing whatever you're doing, you can be looking out and getting that feeling of space. You could also extend the window on the other side, even put a balcony there. You know what? I would have put a balcony there because I love balconies, especially off the kitchen. You know, you're cooking and you're just grinding away and you need a little space. You go out and there's all the space in the world. I love that idea. Okay, now this picture is kind of a cool picture because it shows you the window looking out onto the historic center. This is the kitchen area. And the wall right here is the wall that will be opened up into either balcony doors or maybe one of those foldy glass things, which I love so much. I would do that. A foldy glass kind of wall thing, if you could do that structurally, would be spectacular because you're going to have an amazing view. You can see that your view out there would be the view of the town with the mountains behind it, and then the mountains in the front, and then the sea on the other side. I think it would be absolutely spectacular, and you're going to want all the light you can possibly get in this beautiful kitchen. Now that window there, it's cute. I like it. What I would do, I would turn it into a balcony. It doesn't have to have a huge, door space. I would make it bigger. I would retain the little bricks over the top. They have the little brick travi up there, meaning the brick headers. I would keep that look. It doesn't have to be structural, that you can do whatever you want structurally, but I like the fact that it's like a little arch. I love that. And I would turn that into a balcony so that you can go out and look and see the historic center. Now from this picture here, you can see this is from the Soggiorno area. You can see how big the Soggiorno could be. And that little door heading out there is going to be where your terrace is. So picture, if you will, from this vantage point, an arch that goes through, and on the wall where they have that slanty roof, that will all be open, and that will be a terrace. All right, now this picture I like because it shows you from the upper level just how high up you are, and you get a beautiful view of the town, of the mountains, and the sea. It's just really lovely. The comune is right there. The restaurant is right across the street. It's a great location. Now, this picture shows you exactly where you are in the village. The other houses that are getting ready to be built are right next to it. They're up on the hill a little ways, and that's fine. This location is great because you could actually walk to the village from here. And you can see just how beautiful Santa Domenica Talao really is. Okay, so this photo here shows you a little bit of the Cantina. Now the Cantina is actually twice that size and would make a spectacular little guest apartment or a one-bedroom Airbnb unit if that's what you want. Here's another view of that. You can see that the travi up there, the headers or whatever they're called, the beams, they can be redone, beautifully redone. There's already water down there, so the bathroom would not be a problem. I would turn it into a little one-bedroom guest quarter / B&B. Now, from this picture, you can see through to the other room there. It is dark down there because all the windows are shut, but that could be a wonderful kitchen soggiorno space and pranzo, and this could be a huge master bedroom with ensuite bath. And next to the garage is another storage space. Now you can see they were very into winemaking. In fact, there's a big sink in the garage that they use to crush the grapes. It has a little spigot on it. That's easy to get rid of. And of course, all of these barrels. If you want, the barrels can come with the house. You can cut them in half, make them into planters, or get rid of them. Either way is fine and acceptable. But this is a huge space, and you could actually do a lot of storage down here. Your patio furniture, whatnot, could all be down here. There's a lot of options. Okay, now this picture here shows that there's wood beams down here too. So who knows? You could make that living space, possibly. I don't know. That's an Antonella question. But it's kind of a cool space, isn't it? Man cave. Now, this last picture is just a view of, an approximation of the view that you're going to get from your terrace up there, and you can see it's absolutely stunning. Once again, we love Santa Domenica Talao. It is a lovely hill town. The locals there are absolutely amazing people. You will be folded into the local community so easily. The restaurants are fabulous. It's a wonderful place. If you're interested, let us know. Let us know in the comments what you think. But I think, especially considering the fact that these other units are going to be going in not too far up the hill from you at a much higher price, this one is a slam dunk. There you go, guys. See you soon.